if you're over 60. Every choice you make for your health matters more than ever, especially when it comes to protecting your brain from a stroke. A stroke can change your life in an instant, stealing your independence, your speech, or even your memories. But here's the hopeful truth. Your body is not defenseless. In fact, with the right nutrients, you can strengthen your blood vessels, keep your blood flowing smoothly, and reduce the risk of a stroke even as you age. I'm Dr. Robert Hale, and for more than 40 years, I've worked with seniors to protect their brain health and maintain their independence. Today, I want to share with you 7 vitamins that science shows can help shield your brain and blood vessels from damage. These are not miracle pills, but when you get them in the right amounts, mostly from real food, they can be powerful allies in keeping you strong, steady, and sharp. Some of them you may already know, others might surprise you. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to add to your diet and why. Before we begin, I'd love to hear from you. Type yes in the comments if brain health is one of your top priorities right now. And if you want more practical, science-backed tips for staying healthy and independent after 60, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel. Improve senior health. Now, let's start with the first vitamin, one that plays a key role in keeping your blood pressure steady and your arteries flexible. Let's start with vitamin D3, often called the sunshine vitamin. Most people know it for keeping bones strong, but research shows it also plays a powerful role in stroke prevention. Vitamin D3 helps regulate blood pressure, reduce inflammation in your blood vessels, and keep your arteries flexible. 3 key factors in keeping blood flowing smoothly to your brain. Here's the challenge after age 60. Your skin becomes less efficient at producing vitamin D from sunlight, and many seniors spend more time indoors. The result, low vitamin D levels, which studies link to higher risks of high blood pressure, clogged arteries, and even strokes. Let me share a patient story. John Matthews, a 72-year-old retired teacher from Texas, came to see me after a routine checkup revealed borderline high blood pressure and rising cholesterol. But his lab work showed something else. His vitamin D level was only 18 mg/ml, far below the healthy range of 30 to 50. John admitted he rarely went outside and didn't take supplements. I explained how this deficiency could make his arteries stiffer, increasing his stroke risk without any obvious symptoms. We created a plan. He started walking outside for 20 minutes in the morning sun 3 times a week, added fatty fish like salmon to his dinners twice a week, and took a small daily supplement of 1,000 IU vitamin D3. 3 months later, his vitamin D level had risen to 38 mg/ml. His blood pressure had dropped slightly, and his circulation had improved. The key takeaway: vitamin D3 works best when balanced. Too little leaves your blood vessels vulnerable. Too much can cause calcium buildup. For most older adults, 800 to 1,000 IU per day is a safe starting point. Ideally combined with safe sun exposure and food sources like salmon, sardines, fortified dairy, or eggs. So before you start or change your vitamin D routine, ask your doctor for a simple blood test. Knowing your number is the safest way to protect your brain and your independence. Next on our list is vitamin B12, a quiet but essential protector of your brain and nervous system. This vitamin keeps your blood healthy, supports the protective coating around your nerves, and helps your brain cells communicate effectively. Without enough B12, your brain and body can't get the oxygen and nutrients they need, and over time, this can increase your risk of stroke. Here's the tricky part. After age 60, your stomach produces less acid, which means you absorb less B12 from food, even if you eat meat, fish, or eggs regularly. You might still be running low without knowing it. Low B12 levels can lead to anemia, nerve damage, memory loss, and balance problems, all of which can quietly set the stage for a stroke. Let me share a story. Mary Collins, a 68-year-old retired nurse from Ohio, came to see me after noticing she was getting more forgetful and occasionally felt dizzy when standing. She assumed it was just aging, but her lab tests told another story. Her B12 level was only 210 pg/ml, well below the optimal range of 400 to 800. She had also developed mild anemia, which meant her brain wasn't getting enough oxygen. We made some simple changes. Mary began taking a sublingual B12 supplement, 1 mc daily, added more salmon and fortified cereals to her diet, and came back for a follow-up 3 months later. Her B12 levels had doubled, her memory improved, and her dizzy spells were gone. The key takeaway: B12 is one of the safest vitamins to supplement, but it's still best to know your levels first. For most older adults, 501,000 mg per day is enough to correct a deficiency, and you can get it from animal foods like beef, chicken, salmon, tuna, eggs, or from fortified plant-based milks and cereals. If you don't eat meat, your brain depends on healthy blood and strong nerve connections. Keeping your B12 the right range is one of the simplest and most powerful ways to protect both. Our third brain-protecting vitamin is one that far too many people have never even heard of: vitamin K2. Specifically, the MK7 form. While vitamin K1 is famous for helping your blood clot, vitamin K2 plays a different, but equally important role. It directs calcium to your bones where it belongs, and keeps it out of your arteries where it can do serious harm. Why does this matter for stroke prevention? Because as we age, calcium can slowly build up in our blood vessel walls, a process called vascular calcification. This makes arteries stiff and narrow, increasing the risk of high blood pressure, clots, and eventually a stroke. K2 acts like a traffic cop, guiding calcium to the right place and keeping your blood vessels flexible. Let me tell you about William Harris, a 70-year-old retired firefighter from Colorado. He came to me after his cardiologist found early signs of calcification in his carotid arteries, the main vessels carrying blood to the brain. His cholesterol wasn't terrible, and he didn't smoke, but his arteries were already less flexible than they should be. When I looked at his diet, I noticed he rarely ate foods rich in vitamin K2, like fermented cheese, natto, or pastured eggs. We started him on a simple plan: a small daily supplement of 90 mg of K2 MK7, plus adding 2 servings of K2-rich foods each week, like Gouda cheese and egg yolks from pasture-raised hens. 6 months later, his follow-up imaging showed no further calcification, and his blood pressure had improved slightly. More importantly, he felt stronger and more confident on his feet. The takeaway is this: vitamin K2 doesn't remove existing calcium deposits, but it can help slow or even stop them from getting worse. For most older adults, 120 mg per day of MK7 is a safe and effective dose, especially when combined with adequate vitamin D3. Natural sources include natto fermented soybeans, certain cheeses, Gouda, brie, egg, yolks, and grass-fed meats. Your arteries are your brain's lifeline. Keeping them flexible with the help of vitamin K2 is one more way to protect yourself from the kind of stroke that can steal your independence in seconds. Vitamin C might be the most famous vitamin in the world, and for good reason. Most people know it as an immune booster. But what many don't realize is that it's also a powerful ally for your blood vessels and brain. Vitamin C helps your body produce collagen, the protein that keeps your arteries strong and elastic, It's also a potent antioxidant, protecting your blood vessels from the damage caused by free radicals and inflammation, two hidden drivers of stroke risk. The challenge for many seniors is that vitamin C isn't stored in the body. You need to replenish it daily. And diets low in fresh fruits and vegetables can lead to gradual depletion over time. This can make your blood vessels weaker and more prone to damage. Take the case of Linda Foster, a 75-year-old retired librarian from Oregon. She came to see me with frequent bruising on her arms and legs, even from minor bumps. She also felt more tired than usual. Her blood work revealed low vitamin C levels and early signs of elevated inflammation markers. When we talked about her diet, she admitted she didn't eat much fresh produce, mostly canned or processed foods for convenience. We started. Small Linda began adding a cup of fresh strawberries to her breakfast 3 times a week, half a red bell pepper in her lunch salad, and a kiwi or orange as an afternoon snack. Within 2 months, her bruising had reduced significantly, her energy levels improved, and her follow-up labs showed healthier inflammation levels. The takeaway vitamin C works best when it comes from real food because you also get fiber and other plant compounds that support vascular health. For most older adults, 75-90 mg per day is enough. But going above that with food sources is generally safe. Great choices include citrus fruits, strawberries, kiwis, bell peppers, broccoli, and leafy greens. Strong, flexible arteries are one of your best defenses against stroke, and vitamin C is one of the simplest, most delicious ways to keep them that way. Vitamin E is often called the heart helper because of its ability to protect cells from oxidative damage. It works as a powerful antioxidant, guarding your blood vessels from the free radicals that can damage artery walls and trigger inflammation, both key players in the development of strokes. But here's the catch. More isn't always better. In fact, high-dose vitamin E supplements can actually increase the risk of bleeding, especially in people taking blood-thinning medications. The real secret is getting enough vitamin E to support your vascular health without tipping the balance too far. Let me introduce you to George Hamilton, a 69-year-old retired engineer from North Carolina. George had a family history of stroke and wanted to be proactive. He started eating more nuts and seeds, almonds, sunflower seeds, hazelnuts, and using olive oil in his salads. His lab work showed healthy vitamin E levels, and his doctor was pleased with his overall cardiovascular health. But one day, after reading an online article, George decided to boost his protection by adding a 400 IU vitamin E capsule daily on top of his already nutrient-rich diet. Within months, he noticed that small cuts took longer to heal, and occasional nosebleeds became more frequent. When we checked his blood work, his vitamin E levels were higher than needed, and his clotting time was longer than normal. We removed the supplement, kept the dietary sources, and his symptoms resolved in a few weeks. The takeaway vitamin E is essential for brain and blood vessel health, but balance is everything. Most older adults only need about 15 mg per day, around 22 IU, which you can easily get from foods like almonds, sunflower seeds, spinach, and avocado. Supplements should only be used when dietary intake is low, or if your doctor specifically recommends them. Think of vitamin E like a safety net for your arteries, strong enough to catch you, but not so heavy that it causes more harm than good. Folate, also known as vitamin B9, is best known for its role in pregnancy, but its benefits go far beyond that, especially for older adults. Folate helps your body break down homocysteine, an amino acid that, when elevated, can damage the lining of your blood vessels, promote blood clots, and increase your risk of stroke. As we age, folate intake often declines. Many seniors eat fewer leafy greens, beans, and fortified grains the richest sources of this vitamin. Low folate levels can quietly allow homocysteine to build up, putting unnecessary strain on your arteries and heart. Let me share a patient's story. Arthur Bennett, a 74-year-old retired bus driver from Illinois, came in for a routine checkup. His cholesterol and blood pressure were under control, but his homocysteine level was surprisingly high, almost twice the upper limit of normal. This was concerning, because elevated homocysteine is like sandpaper on the inside of your blood vessels, making them more prone to clots. When I asked about his diet, Arthur admitted he rarely ate salads or cooked vegetables, preferring meat and potatoes meals. We made a plan. He would start adding 1 cup of steamed spinach or kale to his lunch, have a lentil soup twice a week, and switch some of his bread to a folate-fortified whole grain option. We also added a low-dose folic acid supplement, 400 mg daily. 3 months later, his homocysteine levels had dropped into the healthy range, and his energy and focus had improved. Arthur told me, "I didn't think greens could make such a difference, but I feel sharper and more awake." The takeaway: Folate is a simple but powerful tool for keeping your blood vessels healthy. For most older adults, 400–600 mg per day is a safe and effective amount. Great food sources include spinach, kale, asparagus, Brussels sprouts, lentils, black beans, and fortified whole grains. If you're not getting enough from food, a basic supplement can help, but always check with your doctor first, especially if you take medications for seizures or blood pressure. Protecting your brain often starts with protecting your blood vessels, and folate is one of the easiest ways to do both. Our final vitamin on this list is vitamin B6, often found in nerve support and energy supplements. In the right amount, B6 plays a crucial role in brain health, helping your body make neurotransmitters, the chemical messengers that keep your brain sharp, your mood stable, and your blood vessels functioning properly. It also works alongside B12 and folate to keep homocysteine levels in check, which is key for stroke prevention. But here's where caution comes in: too much. B6 can damage your nerves, causing numbness, tingling, weakness, and even balance problems. The tricky part is that these symptoms can develop slowly, and many people mistake them for normal aging. Let me share the story of Susan Parker, a 71-year-old retired accountant from Florida. She came to see me because her hands sometimes felt numb and her feet tingled at night. She had started taking a brain and energy supplement she bought online, thinking it would help her stay sharp. When we looked at the label, each tablet contained 100 mg of vitamin B6, and she was taking 2 a day. That's 200 mg daily, more than 20 times the recommended safe upper limit for seniors. We stopped the supplement immediately, and over the next few months, her symptoms improved, though some mild numbness remained. Susan was shocked to learn that B6 is something you need only in small amounts. Too much can cause the very nerve problems she was trying to prevent. The takeaway: for most older adults, 10 mg of B6 per day from food is enough. If you do take a supplement, make sure it stays under 50 mg per day, unless prescribed by your doctor. Great food sources include bananas, potatoes, chickpeas, chicken, and fish like tuna or salmon. Vitamin B6, when taken wisely, can help your brain and blood vessels stay healthy for years to come. But like so many things in life, balance is everything. After working with seniors for more than 40 years, I can tell you this: preventing a stroke is not about finding a magic pill. It's about creating an environment inside your body where your brain and blood vessels can thrive. Vitamins are just one piece of the puzzle. The real power comes when you combine the right nutrition with daily habits that support your overall health. Here's my advice. First, focus on food first. Whole, colorful, nutrient-rich foods, not only provide the vitamins we've discussed, but they also deliver thousands of other plant compounds that no pill can match. Second, know your numbers. Simple blood tests can tell you if you're low or high in certain vitamins, and that knowledge is your greatest protection against both deficiency and excess. Third, move your body daily. Even light activity improves circulation, keeps your arteries flexible, and supports your brain's oxygen supply. Finally, listen to your body's whispers, not just its shouts. Subtle changes like unusual fatigue, dizziness, or tingling can be early signals that something isn't right. Don't ignore them. Vitamins are tools, not miracles. When used wisely, they can be part of a powerful, lifelong strategy to protect your independence, your memory, and your ability to enjoy life every single day. We've covered 7 vitamins that can help strengthen your blood vessels, protect your brain, and lower your risk of stroke, not by magic, but by working with your body's natural defenses, from vitamin D3 that supports healthy arteries, to folate and B6 that keep your blood flowing smoothly. Each nutrient plays a part in building a stronger, more resilient you. But remember, these vitamins are just the beginning. Real protection comes from the choices you make every single day, the foods you eat, the way you move, how well you rest, and the attention you give to your body's signals. Your brain is the command center of everything. You are your memories, your independence, your joy. Protecting it is not a chore. It's an investment in all the moments you still want to experience. So here's my challenge to you starting tomorrow. Pick one change, maybe adding leafy greens to your lunch, swapping a processed snack for a handful of nuts, or getting your vitamin D levels checked. Small steps, done consistently, are what keep you strong. If this video gave you even one idea to protect your brain, hit the like button so more people can find it. And subscribe to improve senior health for more science-backed, senior-focused health tips. And in the comments, tell me which vitamin will you focus on first. Let's keep this conversation going because together, we can build a healthier, stronger future.